items.
Okay, okay. I'll be sure to be the next.
Yeah, thanks.
Go, my army, feast! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! You don't understand how badly that champion just got chunked, man.
Oh no, no. I understand. Because the same thing happened to the champ up here.
God, dude. He got wiped from the face of the earth. Hello, Popoki here, and welcome back to another Destiny build video. First of all, sorry for sounding a little weird. I have been sick for the past few days, and I'm just going through it. So, to start, this is a Strand Balance of Power solo GM build. And you're thinking, Pop, why the hell are you using Balance of Power in a GM, or anything for that matter? Well, I got this build idea not from myself, but from my lovely dear friend, Marceletta over on YouTube and Twitch. She posted this build about 3 months ago, and I've been infatuated with it ever since. It is an amazing mix of competitive viability and just freakiness that I really enjoy in a build. And recently, especially on stream, I have been using this build, and Marceletta and I have come up with a few differences and changes, especially on her end, to make this build even better. So if you want to check out Marceletta, she is going to be in the comment section. I'm going to leave a pinned comment with her video and her channel there, so please check her out if you feel so inclined. Now, to get started, let's just go over all of the setup first before we get into the meat and potatoes. So to start, we are on Strand. We are using Marksman's Dodge for the lower cooldown. Our grenade is the Shackle Grenade for its utility in stunning unstops and pinning anti-barrier champions, and to blow up clones, but we'll get into that. For our aspects, we're running Threaded Spectre. This is going to leave a little buddy on the floor whenever we dodge or use our Ensnaring Slam. This is going to automatically detonate when it's too close to enemies, or when enemies deal enough damage to it, or when we shoot it. We'll get more into this a little bit later when we talk about the exotic itself. Next up is Ensnaring Slam. When you press your aired move button, it is going to slam down, suspend enemies nearby, and give you Woven Mail depending on how many enemies you have suspended. This is also going to activate any class ability function you have equipped. So this is going to create a Spectre, this is going to activate Marksman, it's going to activate everything that has to do with class abilities, which is awesome. Next up is our Fragments. First of all, we are running Thread of Finality. Finish your final blows, create threadlings. I'm not going to talk about this one right now, I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but yes, we are using Thread of Finality. Next up is Thread of Evolution. Seeing as all of our damage is coming from threadlings, we have this for, well, threadlings travel further and deal additional damage. This is going to massively increase our damage output with our Threaded Spectre and our super. Next up is Thread of Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. So when we suspend slam enemies and we kill said enemies, we are going to get our class ability back even faster. Next up is Thread of Generation. dealing damage generates grenade energy. This is how we are going to sustain our shackle grenade while doing whatever we're doing. And next up is Thread of Wisdom. Defeating suspended targets creates an orb of power. It is on around a 10-second cooldown, but you're gonna get so many orbs from this and you won't even realize it until you see the end of action report of how many orbs you've created. Next up is our weapons. So this build utilizes 2 weapons. You have a choice. You can either use Heart Shadow for bigger bursts of damage, or you can use Praxic Blade. Boo-hoo, wah wah wah. I know, it sucks that we're still using it, but you can use Praxic Blade for its utility and consistency. I will sadly say that you should probably use Praxic Blade for its consistency, but if you want a really fun time, Heart Shadow is right here, and it is extremely good with this build. I'm going to be going over both of them. So what you should run on your Praxic Blade is what you should always run: a Offensive Form, Forceful Blade 3, Impact Core, and Hyper Blade. Now, for the exotic itself, it's Balance of Power. This is going to just remove everything else from this description and just have it right. When your Threaded Spectre explodes, it creates 4 Threadlings. There you go. Balance of Power is simply going to make our Threaded Spectre make 4 Threadlings whenever it explodes. That's it. For our stats, we are running low health, as low melee as you can get, around 70 or higher grenade, 100 super, 100 plus class, and 150 weapons. Around there, like 138 to like 150 is fine. And the most important part of this build, aside from the weapons itself, is the armor bonuses. We are going to be running a 2-piece Sage Protector, so our swords give us grenade and class ability energy on hit, and we are running a 2-piece Sword Master, so that when we hit an enemy with our sword, it is going to exhaust them, which is going to make the enemy deal 25% less damage to us. Next up is our armor mods. For the Heart Shadow setup, you're going to run a Void Siphon, Dynamo, and a Heavy Ammo Finder. For our gauntlets, we are running Fastball and 2 bolstering detonations to help our class ability get back faster. For our chest, we are running a resist of your choice, melee damage resist, and charged up. Charged up is going to give us up 4 armor charge maximum instead of 3, which you can see on the side of the screen. If I pick up an orb, it is going to show you that we have 4 instead of 3. This is really important and helpful. For our boots, for the Heart Shadow variation, we are running Stacks on Stacks and a Void Scavenger. For our cloak, we are running, very importantly, Bulwark Finisher. I'll get more into this, but this is going to give us a 10-second Void Overshield whenever we finish an enemy. I know, wild, right? I didn't even know about this. Praise Marcy for telling me about this. And Powerful Attraction, so when we use our Suspend Dive, it is going to pick up orbs nearby, and Reaper. So after we use our Suspend Dive, the next enemy we kill is going to drop an Orb of Power. If you are running Praxic Blade and not a Heart Shadow, you will run a Kinetic Siphon and double Dynamo. And instead of Void Scav, you can simply run a Recuperation, Better Already, or any one of these, Invigoration mods you want down here. So firstly, I'm going to show Heart Shadow very quickly and why we use it, and then I will go over to Praxic Blade for more general use of the build. So why are we using Balance of Power, right? Let's get this out of the way. So let's just say one of the most popular grenades in the game, right, is Grapple, right? So if we use Grapple on this lovely target dummy here, it is going to deal 348 damage. So the most popular grenade in the game, 348 damage. Now, if we just dodge near him and let our clone explode or make it explode on our own, it is going to deal 1,170 damage. Note that we are on ultimate mode in the firing range, so these damage numbers are a lot lower than what they actually are in the game, so mind that. So yeah, basically what we're going to be doing is using Sage Protector and a few things to create clones and then use said clones to chunk enemies and bosses. So if I simply hit this champion with my Heart Shadow, let's say I just throw this out, boom, it is going to deal around that much damage, right? Heal up, buddy. There we go. And if I activate my clone in front of him, walk back a few seconds, boom, like that, look at how much extra damage that added onto him. And of course, I can just do a few melee attacks on him and simply get my dodge back again. He's being a bit of a meanie. So basically, Balance of Power is going to add a massive chunk of damage to any DPS tech that we are doing, period. So another example is an Unstoppable Incinerator. If we just did this and that, it's going to do, around that damage. And then if we, slap another one in here, slam down, activate this. Those are supposed to go to that guy. This guy's big and evil. Well, if you know what would happen, he would get chunked, right? So Balance of Power is a massive boost to our DPS and burst damage, and we have basically unlimited spam of these threadlings. Now, one of the main uses for Balance of Power in this build is, in fact, super damage. So for an example, I am going to run Star Eater Scales, 116 Super, and Silk Strike, and damage the boss. So, let's see. I'm in the air. So, over 100 Super with Star Eater Scales deals 10,005 damage. Now, if we switch to Balance of Power and we simply do damage with Threaded Spectre, we can see the damage difference between these two exotics. So, if we just slam, pop our super, and keep slamming, it's going to be very quick. And it deals 11,000 damage. So just having Balance of Power equipped and using Silk Strike, we are doing 1,000 extra damage than 6 stacks of Star Eater Scales and over 100 Super. That is ridiculous, and we can extend this to Champion DPS. So while we are in a GM setting, we can simply pop our Super and just go ham. As many of these little guys as you want, and it will absolutely obliterate any champion in the entire game. Bye-bye, Mr. Anti-Barrier. Wow, obliterated. With Threadlings to spare, mind you. So yeah, that's why we're using Balance of Power. It is an absolutely underrated nuclear bomb. So if we're not using Heart Shadow, which is the burst damage version of this, and we use Praxic Blade, we are going to see why we are using Swordmaster bonus on our thing. So because we have the Praxic Blade equipped with the Impact mod, it is going to sever enemies that we hit with the Praxic Blade. Sever is around a 40% damage reduction applied to basically us when we hit an enemy and it deals damage to us. And since we have the Swordmaster set bonus, these are going to stack. So we are going to get a 40% DR from Sever and a 25% DR from Swordmaster. So just hitting an enemy is giving us 40 plus 30, or 40 plus 25. Now, if we just activate Hyper Blade on top of that, we get Amplified and 40 and 25, and if we dive, we get 5 seconds of Woven Mail. So we have Woven Mail, Sever, Exhaust, Amplified, everything all in one. So the basic rundown of what we're going to be doing, especially against champions, is diving into them, sorting them to oblivion, and letting our clone explode for us to deal increased damage. So we can just dive in, deal damage, and eventually our clone will explode, and just kill him, right? Next up is a very important part of the build, and that is Bulwark Finisher. So for ad clear, to make our lives easier and help our sustain, when we finish an enemy with Bulwark Finisher, it is going to give us a Void Overshield for 10 seconds. Yep, 10 seconds Void Overshield just for finishing an enemy, even on Strand. And what this is going to allow us to do is get the buff from Singularity Blade. While we have a Void Elemental buff, melee and sword hits will weaken targets, and then Rapid Final Blows against weakened combatants will grant us Devour. So even though we are on Strand, if we get a finisher kill with Bulwark Finisher, it is going to give us 10 seconds of Void Overshield, and then we can get kills with our sword and give us Devour. So as you can see, we have Void Overshield, killing these weakened enemies, and we now have Devour. And from our 1 fragment on Strand, every time we finish an enemy, it is going to spawn Threadlings, which is going to help us kill the enemies around us. And pretty much because continuity is a little useless on this build due to the uptime of Suspend, just having that extra damage and, variety of having, Threadlings is really cool, right? So what this build boils down to is kill things with your sword, dive as many times as possible, and get Devour. Another funny interaction that I've learned thanks to Marcy is that when you have Devour or a Void Overshield, when you get your Void Overshield, right? So let's say you finish an enemy, it's going to give you Void Overshield, and let's say the enemies nearby you are way too chunky, and you will not be able to get enough kills in that one duration of Void Overshield to get your Devour. Well, if you finish an enemy and get Void Overshield and pop your super and use the heavy attack, it will actually weaken enemies and kill them, which will then give you Devour. So if you finish an enemy and pop your super, it'll actually give you Devour. So just a little bit of a fun bonus right there, right? So we're basically just going to be walking around, suspending, supering, doing all the fun things that you do. Yeah, so that's basically it. For the rest of the video, I am going to run the intro of the Grandmaster Conquest, which is right here. The Grandmaster Conquest Defiant EDZ. I am simply going to play the intro to have a talk session and show how the build works in actual Grandmaster content. I will see you right there. Alrighty, let's get this thing underway. Okay. Suspend Slam, get our stuff back, get our orbs, and the next enemy I'm going to see, I'm going to try to finish her to get that Void Overshield, and spawn some Threadlings. Use this to try to get Devour as fast as possible. Might not be able to in this time, but we'll see. I don't think I was able to, but we can simply continue playing. I'm going to try to finish this guy and get my Void Overshield up, but I could not in time. Alright, let's get this guy, get our Void Overshield up. Alright, now we have Devour. I'm going to use my super here. And I'm just going to spam all these clones down because they're going to automatically explode and they're just going to wipe the entire area that we suspended. Get another Void Overshield. I'm gonna pop my super and use that to get my Devour up. The main problem with Suspend Slam in endgame is you just usually don't have enough damage resist to get close enough to the enemies to actually Suspend Slam them. But with the Praxic Blade and Heart Shadow having invis, you can easily get close to the enemies, close the gap, and, you know, do all the above. All our Threadlings are going crazy. Gonna finish with the Void Overshield and then kill these guys to get Devour up. Got Devour. So yeah, that's basically the build. Suspend Slam, have your Threadlings do all the work for you, and just keep Suspend Slamming. That's literally all you have to do, is just Suspend Slam. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have fun with this build. I will see you all again later. Thank you for being a member, Davey, Maya, Zephyr, Frogcat Dog, Rimu, Easties, Pukang Kang, Tanner White, Seppuku Angel, Second Minx, Equitas, Juker, The Zesty Lime, Night TK, Kai Rain, Vinny Rotten, Danny Luciano, E Brainrot, Kazuhira, Cosmilk, BKL Finest, Chris Dodge, Love Hate J, Mr. Spartan, Snakes Make No Sense, Big Business, Get Vectored, Tuna, Alley Cat, Vaughn, Sizzlin' Rice, Ken Guap, Emiri, Reasel, Hua, Alzyke, Soapy Soap, Calypso, William, Dr. Glitchy, Tuba Warrior, and Puppy Princess, and Majin Matt. Let me throw a joke in here. This guy named Dr. Glitchy, who became a member specifically to watch the ASMR video while it was in members only. So I guess take that knowledge and do whatever with it. Like, goodbye.